Well, hello. Hello. I've been needing a place to do videos. I've got a lot to express, and that feeling you get when you just are going to explode because there's just so much that wants to come out of you. Sorry that it's shaking because I'm holding it. Because I'm walking Wolfgang. Wolfie, do you want to say hi, Wolf? I found a place to vent, and so I'm gonna vent a little bit. Give a little war cry. Give a little. I don't know. Honestly, I don't really know. But I want to be completely naked. I want to be completely raw and authentic with myself and with whoever who's watching. So I want to share that I have been, my theme lately and what I've been going through and feeling and now processing, because I've identified it, is anger. Fucking anger and frustration. And it's funny because someone who's so in touch with her feelings, I couldn't really identify that I was feeling anger, that I've had this anger. And I mean, I've talked about it maybe briefly. I think last spring, when I was talking about how I had been going through like dark night of the soul and feeling myself rebirth and just blossom, like just going through this fucking intense transformation once again with the goddess. So I mentioned it in that video, and I'm definitely going through another process, another initiation, another transformation, and it's like it's more intense than the one that I speak on so much, the one back in 2015 where I just went through this crazy, intense and rapid transformation with the goddess. And that's actually the year when I started making a lot of videos. Before then I was not doing it so often, and then it was just like pouring out of me. I was letting it flow, surrendering to it all. So what I'm going through right now, it's so intense because I've been going through so much darkness, shadow. My previous videos lately have been about how we lost our home and how we moved into a van, and that's been interesting in itself. It's been so fucking interesting. It has provided the space. It has allowed for Ty and I to really see things about ourselves, about each other together, about our union, about life, about our processes, about healing. And for me, I have no idea who's gonna watch this. Come on, Wolf, don't do that. But I began going through a really, really dark phase. If any of you are on my Facebook, because that's really the only thing I actually started to post back on, because like I've said many times, I'm not really on social media. I'm trying now. I'm trying to be a little bit more social because, I'm supposed to do my work. And on there, on my birthday, you know how everybody like sends you birthday wishes, like Facebook notifies you when somebody's birthday, right? And so all these motherfuckers are saying happy birthday to me, right? And to be quite honest, it was kind of fucking annoying. It was annoying because there's many reasons why it was annoying. It was annoying because I'm hearing from people that I barely know. I'm hearing from people that I do know well. And aside from getting that happy birthday wish, they were like nowhere to be found when I was in need. You know, and I'm someone, I know my energy is very elusive at times, and I know that I can come off mysterious, and I also retreat into myself to be alone and heal and stuff like that. But, you know, regardless of that, if you have authentic friendships, if you have authentic relationships, regardless of that, you know, your true friends and stuff will always be there. They, you know, they'll resonate, they'll understand, they'll still keep the two-way communication, reciprocity. You know, it's big on reciprocity, is huge. You know, making sure that your relationships resonate and that there is a flow of energy. So that's one thing. It really, really irritated the fuck out of me that there were just like all these people saying happy birthday. But before my birthday, I had made it very clear, like I hadn't been on social media in like I used to. Like I used to be like a crazy social media queen, you know. But I got on there to open myself up and be vulnerable and let people know our situation and the process we were going through, the Kali energy, and started a fundraiser to be open to receive donations to help us with the transition. So, and I was posting like crazy. So that was, you know, there. And I know a lot of people were seeing it. So it frustrated me that a lot of people who I personally messaged, okay, like personally messaged, personally tried to reach out to, then try to tell me happy birthday and leave messages for me like I had not mentioned to them like a month before that, hey, I am in a very vulnerable place right now. I'm opening myself up. I am so open to receive, if you can, you know, whether it's money, suggestions, resources, connections, you know, stuff like that. Okay? And let me tell you, it was a huge disappointment to really see that some people that I really thought would be there for me weren't, you know, and that was a huge eye-opener. So that is one reason that I became frustrated and angered, and at first I didn't know why. And at first I didn't even know I was angry. Hold on, what was pulling me? Hey, that was one agitator. I was able to identify that I was angry about that. But what I'm trying to say is that, like, I expressed my anger on my birthday on Facebook. I expressed my true feelings, my raw feelings, no filter. You know what I mean? Like, I was very blunt. If I can screenshot it and insert it into the video, I will. And I said on there that, you know, that I know it's my birthday and that I really don't give a fuck about any of these birthday wishes that are being sent to me. And that that I realized that my life had been full of people. You know, like if you go to your social media or your phone, or recollect, you know, reflect on people you've bumped into and you've made connections with. Like, I had been a pretty social person, you know, even though I'm someone who does retreat within hermit, blah, 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 I travel and, good boy, travel. And I've met, beautiful, beautiful people. And I mean, regardless, it's the gift and the curse. I will always see the beauty. So, I meet beautiful people. And I get it. I get it that we all go through things. I totally get it that I totally get it that we all are going through stuff. And I totally get it that we're all on our own journeys. We all have our lessons. We all have whatever is specific to us in our blueprint. You know what? I get that. I totally get that. But you know what I also have come to remember, relearn, recognize, understand, is that there is authenticity, pure authenticity, being raw, being so strong and vulnerable that you can be raw, that you can be authentic, and just be real. Be real with yourself. Be real with the people that you know. Be real with the people you have in your life. And I was noticing that there's motherfuckers that were in my life that were not being authentic. And so the fact that they couldn't even just be authentic with me and honest with me, regardless if it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have anything that I can donate, which is fine. That's all you would have to say, but instead they just ignored me, okay? So that lets me know this, like, wow, a piece of them they can't face me. Maybe there must be something they can't face about themselves. Or, I could feel like judgment and things like that. So I realized that my social community, online community that I had, it was not reflecting me. Wow, that's like the first time I've ever even said that. I've worded it in so many different ways in the posts and videos, but I'm realizing that I'm saying it right now. My social community, my online community, was not and has not lately been reflecting me. It's reflecting fragments, aspects of me, it's at one point it reflected me. At one point, these social interactions did reflect me. And I have been on such an intense journey since 2015. I mean, I was recording all those videos about the divine feminine codes and the twin flame experience, and just, damn, go through my stuff and see, like, if you go back, I went down to Florida, and so I did the Seva Chronicles. I was recording about, connecting your divine heart with your divine mind. I was talking about realizing and learning what is your lesson in this life, following your path, following your purpose, looking and seeing that within everything and everyone, the divinity, there's divinity within all, okay? And then I met my partner, and it got really intense. It just like intensified, went turbo on me like crazy. And I was recording videos on that, on how my different aspects were emerging for integration. And my inner child was healing, and my masculine side was healing and integrating. And then I went ghost, right? Remember, I just stopped making videos, I stopped posting. So it's been so intense. Like, I think that I am in a better place. I've created space where I can begin to talk about different things from that process, which I've kind of withheld on it because I wanted to make that content for the podcast. But at the time, there was no way for me to verbalize what I was experiencing. It's been so intense, and therefore it's been so hard to connect with others who could understand what I was going through. There was very, very few that understood what I was going through, and over time, I have slowly been connected with a few individuals. It's very few that have been going through the same processes that I've been going through, that Ty and I've been going through. And so I see that my online space was not reflecting, I guess, my ascension, I guess, really, when you think about it. So I expressed on my birthday, bringing it back to the birthday post, about, I don't give a fuck about your birthday wishes. And really, I'm noticing how many people are actually fake and no longer authentic, and that I was feeling so fucking dark. I was feeling my shadows and depressed as fuck. I was depressed, and I've been going through depression, in and out of depression for months, especially now that we began living in the van. It intensified. It's like it gave me space, I guess, to just really see it for what it was, that I was going through this really, really a deep darkness. And I said that, for the first time ever on a birthday, I don't feel happy or want people to tell me happy birthday, and that I was fucking frustrated and irritated as fuck. And that I wanted people, if they wanted to give me a present, I wanted them to take themselves out of my life and off my friends list if they didn't care about me, if they're not authentic. Like, I was like, really, just please remove your fake ass from my list. And I mean, it's so funny to see the reaction, because it's just so funny, because I wrote it not for attention. I wrote it because it was a place of rawness and anger, fire, but me speaking my truth, speaking my feelings. And it's just interesting to see how people responded or said things, or you could tell ignored it. It'll just open your eyes when you have the courage to use your fire and express that. Some people could see it for what it was and were grateful. They were, they showed appreciation for my rawness. And then you have others who were like trying to fix me, trying to fix my feelings, and that wasn't what I was aiming for. So it's like, and then you have people who were trying to defend themselves. So, you know what I mean? So that just kind of says a lot. That was the first time I've come out and spoken on my anger. And I didn't realize that I've been angry and carrying around anger. And we're now in June. How fucking crazy is it that we are now in June? Okay. And Ty and I were able to record like our introductory video for the series we want to start. I think it's dismantling or unplugging from the Matrix or something like that. And the parasitic structure. And we were able to do that right before we had to leave our apartment. Okay, so that's in February. In February, I was starting to touch on some stuff. So February, March, April, May, June. Oh my God, that's 4 months. I'm gonna let that car go by. 4 fucking months. I have been holding within me for at least 4 months. That means, when I say at least, that means it could be longer. Because when I really reflect on things, the processes that I have been going through has been longer than 4 months. So there has been stuff I've been sifting through, feeling and processing and purging. And now in June, I am finally able to realize, to have the awareness, because it's being reflected back to me through my partner, Ty. He's mirroring to me this deep anger within me. And I've been mirroring to him his deep sadness and sorrow and depression. And we've been literally mirroring things to one another and fucking not paying attention. It's so funny because when you are a twin flame, sometimes you be forgetting that you are a twin flame. And that nothing can be private between you and your partner. Like, nothing. I'm sorry, but like nothing can be private, because you are carrying their stuff, they're carrying your stuff, your energies get mixed up. They've always been together, and it's hard to separate. You don't know who's who, and that's really the point, because you're in union, that you're really one, right? But we're silly, we forget sometimes. We get lost in our heads. We get so down about this human experience. And so we forgot until the other day. We were not getting along at all this one day, and finally it just clicked for both of us, and we're like, oh my God, like, you're carrying my anger. Oh my God, I'm fucking angry. I didn't realize I'm angry. And he was like, yes, Jesus Christ, yes. And I was like, oh my God. And Jesus, man, you're like really going through this really hard, confusing time, and feeling really down and full of sorrow and depression and all this stuff. And he was like, yes. I was like, Jesus, holy crap. So we were able to identify for one another what we're carrying and what we're trying to, we're transmuting for one another and together. Okay, but the funny thing is that on top of being able to identify that, I couldn't really identify it yet. I didn't have that awareness, and couldn't even have that conversation until after I had looked at my natal chart, my astrological natal chart. And for whatever reason, I wanted to go and look at it, and I was really digging into it and looking at even the asteroids and then my north and south node. So I would love to start making some videos tailored towards some topics regarding astrology and healing, astrology in our life, and how it can help you and direct you better and help you on your journey and help you identify some things so that have a better understanding of what it is that you need to work through, or what you may have lessons in, or just to keep an eye out and be more aware of something, and to know your strengths too. So my north and south nodes, I've looked at them before, but for whatever reason I went back and read through it and looked at different sources on my north and south nodes, and I was able to receive the information in a bigger capacity for me to really take it in, to soak it in, and it made so much fucking sense. So for those who are curious, my south node, which your south node is basically what you have learned in past lives, what the knowledge you've already gained, the experiences that you've already had in past lives, and karmic lessons you've already learned, stuff like that. Okay, and it's what you bring into this life.
So it's stuff that you've learned and already gone through and what you're bringing into your current life. Your North Node is what you should be striving for in this life, what you are to learn and have a better understanding of in this life, for you to strive towards, to really embrace it and overcome it too. There's some things that you might have to overcome. And basically in astrology, it'll say like your soul mission, your soul purpose, stuff like that. So my North Node, right? So the past life stuff is in Libra. My North Node is in Aries. So I have gathered thus far, which makes a lot of sense because of how I am, is that I have extreme knowledge. I have a vast amount of experience in relationships. Many relationships, not just romantic, but, business, romantic, friendships. I know all about relationship. I know how to relate. I know how to harmonize. I know how to compromise. I know how to make peace. I'm really good at that. At bringing harmony, mediating. It's a given. Like, some people ask me, why are you so chill? Like, how is it that you always are able to be so objective and understand everyone? Or, or even just in romance, it's easy for me to create and maintain harmony. So, but it did say that the downside is that in this experience of learning about relationship, learning how to be with another, like I said, whether that's romantic, a business, friendship, I know how to be basically with others. I know how to be in community. And so doing so, I have learned how to compromise, and I've compromised a lot. And in romantic relationships and perhaps friendships, I have actually at times neglected my needs. I have decided to hold my tongue or set aside some things, maybe even some goals for, the greater, for the relationship, for the other person, whatever it may be, or whoever it may have been. In this life, North Node in Aries, shit is fucking hilarious, okay? North Node in Aries, in this life, I am to be more independent, not so much always with someone. In this life, I need or had to learn to be alone, to be independent, and also to put myself first, to be selfish. Like, if you know about Aries or read about Aries or maybe dated somebody with Aries in their chart, especially like a sun or a moon Aries, you know that they can come off a bit selfish. And it's just part of their nature, where they kind of, when they identify a need or maybe identify a desire, sometimes their desire is so strong that they feel it's a need and it's really a desire. But regardless, even if it's a desire or a need, they seek it. They want it. Like, they want to go for it right now. They don't wait. They know how to just charge forth. They do it. It's fire. Go. It's Aries fire. So in this life, I am to learn to be more assertive with my desires, be more assertive, with what I want, what I need. I have to learn to not think so much of others, whether it's the general public, friends, family, my partner. I have to learn to put myself first more and more often. And drum roll, brrr, boom. Wonder if I can get a sound effect in there. I have to learn about anger, fire. And it's really funny because Okay, first of all, I've heard from others that they can pick up on me fire, that they can feel my fire. And I've just always been like, it always made me chuckle because I didn't understand where it came from. Because I'm so chill and I identify with water so much, water and air and stuff, right? And earth, I'm just, But I had, like in 2015, when I was in Florida, this one Ayurvedic practitioner was like, wow, you have a lot of fire. And I was like, what? And then I had this astrologer who was like, wow, you're very fiery. And I mean, I know that I was being more outgoing and assertive and I was integrating my femininity and my masculinity, but I had no idea that people could really feel my fire. And so I had a couple people who just kept saying, wow, you have a lot of fire. I can feel your fire. And I was just like, really, it made me laugh because I guess I didn't really believe it. Well, yeah, okay. So that's one thing. But it's just funny because when I was younger, when I began going through some stuff when we moved to Fort Knox, which I believe I mentioned in briefly in Changes Inevitable and my starseed memories and research, my galactic memories and research, I mentioned how when we were living in Fort Knox and I kind of went through like this crazy transformation. I got really, really sick and they had to put me on prednisone. And I went through this really weird, rapid change where I felt like my personality kind of changed and I had like, I would get frustrated easily. And angry. I felt anger and I was more aggressive. And after that, regardless, I think it's just because of also the shit that we were going through, that me and my siblings were going through because of our parents, and they did not handle their separation well. They did not handle the divorce well. They were not present for us during all that shit, okay? So I was very moody throughout middle and high school, really moody. Give me a second here. And so, I mean, I could snap on people. My mood could change fast. You know, I'm sure if I had been taken to a doctor or a therapist or someone, they probably would have diagnosed me with bipolar disorder or something. I was pretty fucking moody. That's really the only time I think, you know, I feel like that I had fire showing. I've never really been an angry person. And since my surrender to my authenticity and my path and my purpose, my work, I just don't get angry easily. Nothing really makes me angry. It has to take a lot to get me there. Or so I thought. And I still think it's that way, but I think in general, I just have a lot of fire. And when I look at my chart, I actually have more fire signs than water, air, and earth. I have like tongue-tied. I have more fire signs. And then after that, there's like a balance of earth and water, or water and air, and then earth. So in general, I just have a lot of fire, okay? And, but like I said, I don't really get angry, or so I thought, like I said. But, like I said, after looking at the chart and the north and south nodes and trying to identify these feelings that I was feeling and why my partner was acting a certain way and reflecting shit to me, and I realized, Trina, you're fucking angry. Like, you're angry. You're holding on to shit. And what is it? What are you holding on to? And I'm like, oh shit, I'm really fucking angry. It's like, just like, okay. So I've now identified it, ladies and gentlemen. And I was speaking with my broski Christian, Ascending Lion, which I've talked about him before, and we might be doing a collaboration to talk about anger in general and how you can talking about, we want to do a video on anger, and I just want us to speak intuitively about it, and just speak about fire, and speak about how to identify your fire, identify anger, and how you can release anger, how to work with it, how to work with fire, because honestly, fire is very fucking powerful. And if you do not know how to utilize it correctly, it's dangerous, and you can harm others, you can hurt others. I don't know if you've seen Avatar the Airbender, the last Airbender, but remember Prince Zuko? He was just angry, man, fucking angry, and holding on to a lot of shit. Wolf, you gotta sit down, buddy. And it's through his journey he finally realized that he didn't have to be so reckless with his element. He didn't have to be so reckless with his fire. He didn't have to be so damaging. And he learned how to balance it, to work with it, to see truly how powerful it is, and how to really to harmonize it and work with it. So I'm seeing that that's something that I'm gonna have to be learning more of. And I know that when I was drinking the tea, Mother Ayahuasca, I had 2 spirit animal guides come to me, and it was the white wolf and a white tiger. And they told me, they gave me words of wisdom and told me to walk lightly and to use my senses to, look at Wolfie, to use my senses and to use my fire to really see through everything and discern. And that with my power, my fire, that there are times when I don't even have to speak. I don't have to use my voice. My energy is enough. It's powerful enough. My presence is enough. And my eyes looking at someone and into someone is enough to where if there's someone with foul energy, if there is someone who is not coming to you or around you in authenticity, or who has a malicious energy or nature about them, I'm going to see right through them, and my fire, that fierceness within me, will speak to them energetically, and they will leave. Like, they will not be around me. So that's pretty cool. And I've always remembered that. It was a very beautiful, beautiful, beautiful moment in that ayahuasca session when those 2 came to me. And there's somewhere I wanted to go with that. Truly, there's so much to talk about this. That's why I asked Christian if he wanted to do a video on it. I just wanted to share that I've identified what it is that's going on with me. Oh, and it's like I had it and then I lost it again. Jesus Christ, what is going on with me? Yeah, okay, so after I identified it, that I was angry, that is. I then said, okay, now I need to carve out me time, and I need to sit down and identify who I'm angry at and why, or what I'm angry at and why. And it just so happens that it was a new moon. So on the new moon, it was my day. I decided to cancel my online working shift and dedicate that time to myself. And I wrote a list of individuals that I realize I've been holding on to emotions. And truly, the thing is that first I feel hurt. I'm a very sensitive person. As me and Belen were like talking one day, it's like we both were talking about how we're very delicate. We're delicate flowers, I'm truly delicate too. I may be fiery, but I'm delicate, and I'm very fucking sensitive. I've always been very sensitive. And when I'm real with people, and so if I'm real with a friend, I just truly hope and expect that in return. So it's hurtful when you realize that friends in your life are not really giving that back, and that it's not the same level that you're at and what you're willing to give. And so yeah, it hurts, and you just wouldn't expect it from certain people. So it was hurt, and I guess that pain then evolved, turned into anger. So I identified who I'm angry at and why I'm angry, and now I'm going to decide how I'm going to express that. Will I write them letters? Will I call them? I'm going to decide on how I'm going to release this energy. Maybe I won't write some of them letters. I know I definitely want to write certain people letters, but I may not write every single person a letter. I'm just going to decide how I want to release this energy, and then I'm going to release it. I'm going to let it go, because that's what you have to do. You can't hold on to things. You truly can't. It'll fuck with you. It'll keep you down. It'll keep you blocked, from feeling, from being open, from expanding, from feeling too, really being in your heart and feeling. Let me let that go by. So I wanted to share that with you, that I'm at that stage now where I've identified who I'm mad at and going to decide how I want to. And then I also decided to sketch. I decided to sketch something to show the process that I'm going through this fucking insane phoenix energy transformation. The goddess is really look at he's so cute. I'm just going through this transformation where I'm being burned. I'm being burned by the goddess. I'm being burned by my own fucking fire. Just fucking burn it all up. Just fucking burning, and just transforming. I, in general, have always had a hard time being human, this human experience, and Thai too, and I know that other starseeds identify with this, that it's so fucking hard. And that's another reason why I get angry. I'm so fucking angry. I'm so angry at times at humanity. I'm so angry at how people treat one another and how they're treating planet Earth. I'm just so angry about that. And one of my favorite music artists, Aurora, man, I've been so out of the loop. I just now got to hear some more of her songs that I didn't know she had released, and she's releasing an album in a few days, so I'm really, really excited about that. And I can tell she's like on her next level shit. Like, this amazing star sister is just letting it out, speaking truth for all of us, standing in our power, doing our mission, doing our work for humanity and Mama Earth. And so she has this beautiful song called The Seed, and it just really got me. Like, it really got me. And it's like, it's like she literally was mirroring to me my fucking anger. And so it's not just the anger that I have towards people that I've identified in my life. In general, I'm angry. And I know one thing, though. I know that when I do get angry, I am really good at taking my fucking anger and using it as fuel, using it as a force to push me to move forward and do shit, to get shit done, to express, to stand up for something, to create, to put things into action. And so I really am hoping that that's what I'm going to do with this, just fuel it forward. And I'm so proud of Aurora for standing up and speaking so boldly and so loud about the human race and coming back to our authentic selves, our true nature, and for Mama Earth, speaking up for Mama Earth and the atrocious shit that we're doing to this place. Humans are just the worst, man. Like, so destructive and selfish, have been so disconnected from themselves, from their true nature, that they're just fucking destructive as shit and just destroying everything and destroying one another. And I mean, it's like we really need to stand up, and we really need to wake the fuck up and see what we're doing to one another and to the planet. You know, because if humanity doesn't, then yet again we're just going to destroy ourselves. This species will just destroy and destroy yet another planet. You know, it's like, you know, come on, let's learn. Like, how many times are we going to have to go through the same thing before you learn your lesson? So I needed to get that off my chest. So I'm glad that I did. I feel better, and I feel so good that I did it in nature, sweating it out with me and Wolfie and you guys. And I really, really, really hope to do a video, or at least some videos on anger, because I do want to be more detailed about it and about certain topics. And in general, there's just other stuff that I want to talk about, because I'm going through another crazy initiation with the goddess and the fairies, and yeah, I want to share about that and talk about that and converse with others who are going through similar processes, because it's happening and the goddess is calling. You know, the great mother is calling. Look, my glasses are all wet and foggy. So it's so intense. So I'm like, I am so now deeply into this search for sisters, for soul sisters to find me and me to find them. I'm looking for that sister circle, that sisterhood, and to create some kind of healing group, a healing circle, and to set things in motion where we can get together and do sound healing, and for one another and for the collective, and just sound medicine, healing medicine, ceremonies, rituals, all that good stuff, all that good medicine. Yeah, I'm on it, and I'm putting that out into the universe, and I have. So I know it'll come to me, and I look forward to meeting you, sister. I look forward to being so fucking raw, vulnerable, real with you. And I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you watched this, and I can't wait to hear from you. Thank you to all who watched this, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your service. Thank you so much for being yourself. Thank you so much. Just thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste. Mitakwe oyasin. Aroha nui.